Looking forward to very challenging 3 games in the next 6 days, starting with South Carolina on Thursday, a team that somewhat mirrors us in terms of scoring, the field goal percentage, and we've played them already this year and going into an overtime with them and then coming back home against Mississippi State. Would definitely pose another challenge for us, a team that we battled with and wind up winning in the last seconds there, and look forward to playing a Tennessee team that's continuing to improve and just get better and be another tough road game for us. We realize that offensively we're getting good shots and decent looks at the basket, but we've got to do a better job of making shots. We haven't shot the ball as well as we would like to in conference play, but I'm hopeful that we can continue to defend the way that we have, holding opponents to low field goal percentages, especially there at the 3-point line as well. But we've got to improve our field goal percentage, and I think that will help us immensely, and then cut down on some of our crucial turnovers. And I think we can have an opportunity to possibly improve not only improve with their record as well.
Even though you guys have lost a few games in the last 6, it seems like the South Carolina game is a little bit of a turning point in terms of your guys kind of figuring out what they needed to do at the end of games. Is that, when you look back, is that maybe where it clicked in a little bit?
Well, I think that the South Carolina game burns a little bit because we had the ball at the end of the game in regulation and did not get a good look of the shot that we would have liked to have had at that time. And it was kind of one of those games you thought the team that had the ball at the last possession had a great chance of getting out of the air, and we had it. And had an opportunity to run one of the plays we was looking for. Unfortunately, it didn't get the right read and wind up. And I think since then, I think the guys have made more of a conscious effort of trying to execute at a higher level. And we've gotten good shots toward the end of the game, even including the Alabama game, getting 2 really good looks through execution, even there at the end. Again, Hickey to Stringer, and didn't go down, but at least we got the looks that we needed.
Coach? You talk about Hickey having the ball making situations. What makes him so dangerous for other teams and effective for you?
I think because of his quickness and in the open floor, it's hard to contain. And what we'd like to try and do is force people to get in a rotation and trying to help, which will allow us to make other plays. And the good thing for Hickey, he's not one of those guys that look to be the hero. I mean, if the shot is available for him, he'll take it. But if the opposing team do a good job in terms of defending and rotating, he's been great in terms of trying to find the open player. And that's just a matter of being able to knock the shot down from there. And I think it's really good that he has that mentality and that type of demeanor out there on the floor. Because a lot of times guys, regardless of what the defensive team should do or whatever adjustments they'll make, guys, you generally try and just get the shot off regardless. And Hickey's done a great job of refraining from doing that for us.
You talked about you all struggling shooting, but y'all not the only ones. I mean, there's half a dozen teams in this conference. You look at other conferences, field goal shooting numbers down. Just what do you think it is? I mean, Alabama missed all kinds of open threes the other night. What do you think it is with the field goal numbers across the country?
It's tough to say because I thought we'd gone through a stretch there early on where we really shot the ball well, and which gave us opportunities to win some games early. And that's one of the areas where we were a huge threat, our ability to really shoot and extend the defense and even beyond the 3-point line. And obviously defensively, people are going to be more aggressive, and after you get scouting reports, trying to make sure they take away your strengths from you. But I feel like we've gotten good looks at times, and they're better shooters. Shots just haven't gone down for us. And you look at Florida, good team, what they're shooting, I think around anywhere from 49 to 50, and assists are up to about 17 or so assists a game. I think that's a really good number to have, and then you have get exactly the second, but I think there's a drop off a little bit after that. Anytime you're hovering around 39 to 42%, I think it's kind of reflective of your record as well. But if you get to about 45, I think you can see the improvement in the difference in the other records that are out there.
Is this league, are there more athletes rather than shooters? Talking about the group, the
Overall,
league as a group. I mean, Mark?
Yeah, but I think you recruit to shooters too, and I think that's something that you kind of recruit to and you have to develop at the same time. And I would like to think guys who are great shooters, especially from the three-point line, are guys who are taking those type shots. You don't have a lot of times just low percentage three-point shooters jumping up hoping that they are able to knock one of those shots down. For us, we're hopeful that Stringer, Hickey, Kamoosh, or the guys that are taking the bulk of those shots behind the line, most effective in Malik Morgan. And those other guys, when they understand their roles and they stick to them and play them, I think can have a better balance for your team. It's hard for me to speak, to other teams, but I see with the guys that have low field goal percentage, three-point field goal percentage numbers out there as well in our league. But I think if you look at Florida, again, good team across the board. Those guys who are really good three-point shooters or have good averages out there, the ones who's taking those shots. And you look at Young, I don't know if he's attempted one all year long. So, and that's generally can take your field goal percentage down as well. You have guys out there every now and then getting their shot off and happen to be behind the line. So I don't think that's good. And it just averages out, I guess, throughout the season.
Can you tell when your guys on the catch and they go up with talking about the deep shot, can you tell this one's going to go in and this one isn't?
Well, I tell you, even though he's shooting probably about 39 on the year, anytime Stringer gets a good look, kind of surprised when a shot doesn't go down because the rotation, the finish, and all those things are there. But sometimes, guys, if we drive it inside and the defense collapse, usually when we pitch it outside, I'm real confident that we have a high percentage shooters that way. It's a little bit tougher when guys are coming down on the break and catching it on the move behind the line. It's a little bit tougher shot because I think it's more of a rhythm thing. That's a lower percentage shot. But when guys get their feet set and get good looks at the basket, we're much better. And that's generally the shot that we want to try and take most of the time.
Overall,